Okay, where are we and what are we doing? Well, this is ArmA 3, and I need to learn how to fly properly. So I'm going to practice. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go into the editor, and I'm going to plonk down a helicopter. So, settings, tools, we'll put it down here, and we'll say it is air, and MH9. Click OK, click preview, and we should find ourselves sat in the cockpit of a helicopter. And here we are. Woohoo! Helicopter! External view. Got to get this track IR sorted out where every time I look to the left and down it stops working. But anyway, we can see it, that bloke with a funny shaped head. And I'm just going to fly about. Now, one of the things to remember with the helicopters in this, it's not a pure flight simulator, not like Take on Helicopters is a flight simulator. But it is more of a flight simulator than, say, something like Battlefield 3. And Battlefield 3 has quite tricky helicopters to fly. So we're going to fly about basically, and that is what I'm going to try and do. I can fly well enough not to hit large objects, just. He says hopefully. See the way I'm bobbing about? Because I'm not that great a pilot. And I've got to learn how to fly. And I've got to learn how to fly in a way that actually makes me combat effective. Because there's no point just being able to fly and crash and kill everybody. You've got to be able to fly and fly in the valley so you don't expose yourself. Be able to land as and where you need to without endangering the lives of the people playing with you. You will not be popular on the server if you jump into a helicopter and get everybody killed. See, too much forward speed. Ugh. See, I ain't good. Come on, down, 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 and lock yourself down. It's a little tip I learned from somewhere or another. I can't remember where now. Parked on a slope, and I'm actually using the Z button, which is down collective, to hold me to the surface. I remove so you don't drift, and then pop, come on up like that, and down and into the valley. Come on, get it down into the valley. Watch out for the trees. Come on, round to come. Could do with some rudders. Don't have rudders. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get so good with flying that I'm going to need rudders. But one of the things you'll notice is I rarely, if ever, fly from the external view. I find that if I go external, I sort of lose my bearings very quickly. I time myself into knots very quickly. I don't often use much side shift. Come on, round and come, round and come, round and come, round and come. Little bit of tail action there. A little bit of quarter drift. But let's... So, 10 meters, 4 meters, 6 meters, 7? Yeah, 140 miles an hour. Now, can I stop before the end of the runway without gaining too much altitude? And the answer is no, I bloody can't. I'm up to 25 meters already. That is too high. Oh, I'm going now tight, tail sliding. Tail sliding. Need to go forward a little bit. Come on. Reduce that speed. Reduce that speed. Nice and gentle. Nice and gentle. 1 meter. We're down. We're down and without damage. Woohoo! What I want to learn how to do is how to zoom along at speed at a nice low altitude and then come to a stop and land without gaining any altitude. That, I suppose, is one of the things I really want to learn how to do. Flying low is sort of... Yeah, must remember to keep the airframe under the blades. Otherwise you get no lift. Yeah, is to learn how to do the slowdown without gaining too much altitude. And I think down collective, nose up, nose up. Try and balance the nose up and the down collective. No, too fast. Ooh, God! Bugger! That didn't go well. That's what I need to learn how to do. That's what I would like to set myself as a challenge. I want to set myself the challenge of being able to fly at low altitude and come to a stop without gaining any altitude. And I think once I've learned how to do that, there is a manoeuvre I've seen other pilots, really good pilots, do, where they do a turn, and what they do is they lose all of their forward speed by turning sharply and then landing. I think it's going to be a while before I'm good enough to do that. I'd like to be able to do it in a straight line. I'd like to be able to fly at speed, at low altitude, and then be able to come to a graceful stop without gaining any altitude. Does that make sense? I mean, here I am. I'm scooting along the ground. I am less than 10 meters, doing 180 kilometers. Can I stop before the end of the runway? And the answer is without popping over 20 meters in altitude. No, need more tail. Bloody hell. That was more by luck than judgment. I do need to practice that. That's what I need to practice. And if it means I've got to go up and down this runway a dozen times, right? No. I want to keep below 20 meters. No, I don't want... Oh. Come on. I think I'll set myself the task of learning how to fly below 20 meters and bring the helicopter to a stop at full speed, from full speed. And ground collected, nose up. No, I'm over 25 meters, 28. Too much. I've scrubbed the speed off. Yeah, landed with a bit too much of a thump. Engine's orange. And that's basically what I want to learn how to do. I can get up to speed nice and quick. Fly level. Can I stop? No, more nose. Too much height, too much forward speed. Too much down. Yeah. That hasn't worked. Abort. Yes. Preview. This is how you learn. Yeah? This is how you learn something. Anything is practice. And this way, because they've put an editor in ArmA 3, you can practice. You can practice your turns, you can practice your shooting, you can practice your grenade launching and throwing. Hang on, don't take your hands off the control. It doesn't matter how much your head itches. But the beauty of having the editor in the game, if there's any aspect of the game that you don't fully understand, you can practice. So, down collective, nose up. You want to keep... Yeah, that's a submarine. Didn't go well. Yes, I'll restart. But you've got to do these things if you want to learn. You just throw something in the editor, and you get on with it. I wanted to land on the beach. So here we are, we're at 22 meters, 160 kph, so down on the collective, up on the nose, 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 come on, right the way up on the nose, still too much speed, ooh, I broke my helicopter again. So as you can see, I've got lots of practicing to do. But because the game includes an editor, it doesn't matter how many helicopters you wreck. You do not want to do this on someone's server where people are trying to play a mission. People are playing a mission, and if you want to be, oh, I want to learn how to fly, I'll jump onto a multiplayer server. Nah, you'll be as popular as a turd in a swimming pool if you can't fly. A lot of clans will run their servers in such a way that they say, if you can't fly, don't get in a helicopter. And they've got a point. I do not fly on other people's servers because my helicopter skills are not good enough. I need to practice more. I need to be able to pull this maneuver off. Down on the collective, up on the nose. Up on the nose, scrubbing the speed but not height. Scrubbing the speed, scrub, 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 scrub. Too much height, too much height. Well, that wasn't pretty, but I'm down, and I didn't damage the helicopter. So, these things take practice. Whoops, enemy lamppost spotted. Being able to fly at speed, come into land at speed without gaining altitude. Because heck, it's something the AI can't do. I think I'm getting there, but it's going to take more practice. I might have to do this for 4 or 5 hours, just that one manoeuvre of taking off, flying over the water, keeping below 20 meters in altitude, and then bringing it to land on that beach, first time, every time. You know, it's going to take some work. Let's have a little bit more collective on. All these tank traps down here. An unexplored part of the map. And it's just fly around. It's really simple. Because the editor's in the game, you can do this. You can put something in for you and your friends to play, or you can just do this yourself. Just a little more. Need to get a little bit of altitude. That's not a landing. That was a gentle kissing of the ground. Too much side shift. Yeah, we've sorted down. By the way, when you land on a slope like this, if you push down on the collective, you sort of lock yourself to the ground. Because on just hover, you can end up doing some crazy stuff. Get the helicopter underneath. Yeah, the airframe. Tail round. Down on the collector. Down on the collector. A little bit. No, I'm. Yeah. if I was a passenger on this helicopter, I would not want me to be the pilot. And this is why you do it. As I say, it's why you do it in the editor. You don't do it on somebody's server. where the other people are relying on your skill to be able to fly them around to various locations without getting everybody killed. Because there's nothing better than a really good pilot on a server. I can do without hitting that button. A really good pilot can make or break a multiplayer experience. You know, a good pilot is worth his weight in gold. A bad pilot, hideous. A bad pilot is more than embarrassing. Oh, I didn't know there was an island out here. Hello, Mr. Island. Don't seem to be able to... The way... This is a bit odd, the way the aircraft is handling. It makes good sense, but when I go left with my mouse, I don't expect the nose of the aircraft to go left. I was expecting it to side slip left. I was expecting that. Isn't that strange? When you steer left, it's like you're automatically putting rudder in. Did I not notice that? Maybe I need to have an investigate of that, because when I move my mouse to the right, I hadn't expected that the aircraft would actually twist to the right. I expected it to side slip. Yeah? But if I do, I'm moving my mouse to the right. Yes, I'm banking right, which I expect. But I'm also turning right. Feels a very natural way to fly, but it's not how I remember the way a helicopter works. Maybe I'm missing something. And I guess we'll call it to an end there. I need to do more practicing. I need to do a lot more flying. But if you want to learn how to fly, put a helicopter into the editor and fly and crash and burn and die and fly again. Come on, let's see if I can do this. Down on the collective, up on the nose. Down on the collective, up on the nose, up on the nose, up on the nose, up on the nose. Scrub the speed. Nah! I just stuffed the tail straight into the concrete. He's injured. That bit didn't scrape the ground, because it didn't show you scraping the ground. But yeah, this is why you don't do this on an open server, because everyone would now be cursing you, because everybody's badly wounded.
2, disembark. Copy.
2, 6, 1.
Patch yourself up. Copy.
And of course we need a mechanic to repair the helicopter. So if you did this on an open server, you would piss everybody off, including yourself. This is why you learn in the editor. So on that note, as I was trying to do an outro for the last couple of seconds, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative. Not necessarily that you'll not get any flying tips from me, because I'm crap at flying, but setting up the editor, real simple. This is where you practice. You go into the editor and you practice, not on people's servers, because you will just tick everyone off. You could set yourself up a mission. You could say, you could randomly put LZs in various different places and go one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, taking off, landing, taking off, landing. The tennis court. See how easy it is to land in the tennis court. Try to land a helicopter in this wash somewhere between the bridges. Yeah? These hangars. Learn how to fly through them. Slow speed manoeuvring, flying through. The most important thing, I think, is to learn to fly from the first person perspective, not the third person. Get out of the habit of flying third person. You really got to learn to fly first, because some servers don't allow third person. The serious servers don't allow third person. You've got to learn to fly from this point of view, not this one. You're not playing Hawken. You're playing a first person perspective game. Learn to fly from this perspective, not this one. However useful this one is when landing, learn to do it from here. You'll notice if you ever see any of Dyslexie's videos, you never see him go third person, because serious ArmA players never do go third person. It's locked. It's locked to first person only. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you found it informative. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, later. Bye bye.